So this is Greg from Book of Greg's Mind. I will be writing a chapter within Death Calling, my book I'm working on. I'm gonna attempt to do it with the AC off. Actually, screw it. We're gonna keep it on. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be writing this chapter. I got to a lot of brainstorming last night and yesterday from work, so that is what I'll be doing. And this is also a chapter, like, this is why I like writing. So this chapter will be like that. And it's called the Garden Basket. But we're not going to start with Connor's perspective right away. So what I do is the fourth act is like I don't have a name for the announcer's perspective yet. So I'll just do this to help remind me. Yeah. So what was I gonna say? So with Last Fall, the book that comes after this, there are multiple acts in it. And in Death Calling, there's going to be multiple acts. Whereas Last Fall has, I think, 5 acts. This is only going to have 3 acts. So it's a shorter book. But the beginning of Death Calling takes place in like a medieval type period. Whereas the middle section is more like a modern day period. And that is what I'm going to be writing now. Basically I'm writing what I brainstormed while I was at work, and my brain shut off for a bit because I don't like walking. But so I mean I do the walk, but I don't want to do the walk. I just shut my brain off and disassociate with brainstorming and writing my book or ideas within the book. So I will begin with the announcer's perspective. So let's see, how did I want to start out with it? He is in a flying thing, so I think it's a he. I don't know what gender the announcer is going to be yet, so let's see. Keeping my control. They having cameras. There are my eyes on the three teams that are performing for us. So I won't get into much detail about that here. The three teams. Okay. But since entered I need to look up the actual term for this. I know there's like a menacing name. Cumulonimbus. Yeah, that works. Since I entered the... How do you spell that? C-U-M-U-L... M-U-L... O-N-I-M-B-U-S... O-N-I-M-B-U-S... Olympus. My visuals have been obscured. Folks, they are making the way. Folks, folks, the contestants making their way through clouds as we speak. As we speak. Contestants. That word right here. In the cloud as we speak. So how like I haven't fully figured out like exactly how I want the game that they're playing to be played out yet. So I know they're on tracks that ascend into the sky and whatnot, and they're following a multiple blimps on some sort of vehicle that are on these tracks, and they're supposed to at least get one of the blimps to ascend higher than the others. And if they can't do that, they fail or something. I haven't fully thought out the plan or thought out the story of the challenge they're doing. But this is being like broadcast to all televisions in the world for people to watch. I don't know what the name of the game show is going to be though. It is a game show. I am trying to regain visual, but my sparrows aren't able to fly in such a storm. I call upon Albert. Let me see. And part, let's see what. Oh, okay. So, okay, I should. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So they each person, well, not each person, but some people in this world have a calling, which is like a miniature ability that they can use to aid them. And the announcer's calling is being able to speak with boards. So he uses, or I use my own calling. Call a albatross that I know can handle the storm, to fly into it and see what is happening. Call an app. Yeah, it's about that right. Static sounds over the speaker. No, over my earpiece as I hear the producer in my left ear now. A high voice that whimpers before speaking. To call an albatross. Whimpers before speaking. You need to cut the feed. Need to cut the feed. I silence myself. I silence myself for the general audience. Wait, let's see, watching the sequence of an event from afar. From far and in my own flying vehicle. I don't know what I'm gonna. I'll probably describe it earlier on. Like this chapter is gonna be divided into, I think, 3 different chapters, with the garden basket being the last of the 3, because it has a huge reveal at the end for the story. And there's relevance to why I have my art that I had commissioned up again. But we'll get to that one later on in the chapter. So for the general audience, and speak leaning towards my left, and towards my left. this is great for viewership. Great for viewership. You can't let up now. Something like that. Let up now. I fall silent as from beneath the clouds. I witness a body falling. I witness a body falling. My adrenaline urging. I speak follow to the producer. Andrew, no. Surgeon. Adrenaline. If we've had deaths in the contests. Yeah. In the content. We've had deaths in the contests before. The viewers eat this right up. Let's see, how do I want to put it? We had that in the contest before. The viewers eat this right up. Told you to cut the feed. This voice. Why did it vanish for a moment? I'm not doing anything to make it vanish. Okay. His voice. I told you to cut the feed. His voice. Angry. His voice. Long. Oh, his voice. Forceful. As I continue to watch on when out in the clouds comes a jet of something. And I stare on comes a jet. And out of the clouds comes something which pierces the pieces, pierces this voice forceful as I continue to watch on. This is great. my voice trails off as a thunder booms and a dreadful form is highlighted within the cloud. And a thread and something is directed toward myself. Holy shit. Then we go to Connell's perspective. So we don't know what is up there quite yet. Well, I mean, I know what's up there, and then we go to Connell's perspective. So this is going to be a bit earlier on before the events within the thundercloud happens. So we know someone is falling, and we know. So we're at Connell's perspective. So how do I want to begin with him? How do I want? Let's see. What was I thinking I would do with him? So. Yep. That is the link to this video on YouTube if you wanna join. Okay, so. Platform from where we standing on the moving platform while next I want to make sure I'm using the correct word. What is it called? Oh, that's the Thermal Zeppelin. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. The ZPPELIN. Standing on the moving platform while the Zeppelin continues on the correct path that we've acted. Those on the selected. Let's see, how did I want to do it? Well, I know how I want to do it. I just, there are multiple people and I don't know the exact amount, the people yet. If that even makes sense. Those on the previous one previous platform before. Mode or I don't know, how do I want to put this? I've not been directed. Team band on the previous then that we've already ruled out as being unable to reach the goal. So it's like they are in charge of trying to direct 5 different zeppelins to reach a particular goal. But the thing is, the tracks that each one are on will eventually stop. So they need to somehow direct at least one to reach the goal. And there are 3 different there are 3 different teams, and Team Band is on one that will be unable to reach the goal. And the 3 teams are supposed to be working together to do this. It's being unable to reach the goal. Way to reach the goal. Though so I need to pull up a different chapter to remember the guy's name. Hopefully it doesn't switch to that chapter. I'm not ready to share that. Yes, okay, good. Let's see. Unable to reach the goal. Though it's just yeah, it's not how I spell it. Lucius Ignorance. He went ahead. He went ahead and started performing for additional viewership. For additional viewership. It's not viewership, comma, not against the laws. So it's not against the rules, but what's happening bad. What's happening is bad. And then we need to open up a different one. Because I already have the characters laid out. I just need to organize that. So who do I want to add into this? I'm just gonna go with the straightforward answer. So leader of team, not so. Kano is in team Treehouse. Lucius is part of team band, and he is actually part of a band that like they start playing on top of the Zeppelin to get more views. But his calling is going to be backfiring, which I'll be getting to that in shortly. Ulysses, the leader of team Pompadour, because Ulysses has a pompadour. I don't know. I haven't thought. I just know he has a pompadour. I don't know much more about that. He signs me. Wondering. He signs me. Calling me afraid. Because I'm unwilling to help the others to prevent this being from continuing forward, even though it's warping the tracks. No, it's warping the tracks. So they're like really high in the air as well. Economy. So yeah, it's not quite sorted out the way I want it to be, but again, this is a rough draft, so like it's not going to be perfect, even though it's off of the tracks. My own calling. Nothing more than an yeah, let me make sure I'm using that term correctly. Yeah. Nothing more than an encyclopedia. I try to search for an answer within. I try to search for an answer. A etheric form arising from my own shoulders. The odd man, as I've come to call him, looks out at the chaos of the organic flesh thing that approaches us and is changing the tracks. It's changing tracks on a more molecular scale. On a molecular scale. Do you have anything that can tell us what to do right now? I exit. I don't want to put that. I want Ulysses to argue with him. What to do right now? I exit. He shakes his head almost immediately. Modestly, stupid word. There we go. Useless. This is. How's that? Like I need to I need to develop their interactions a bit more, but the two main people that are like against each other are gonna be Connor and Ulysses. Does that mean? I don't see you do. Okay, so don't see him doing anything to help the situation either. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have any of them being able to like actually like cut metal with their ability. Oh wait, yeah I do. Okay, yeah I do, okay. Going to help the situation either. Now for helping, the triplets seem to be helping the most by heating the metal, although slowly to disconnect disconnect us from the rest of the tracks. The cloud is still billowing around us, making it hard to see as we're being pelted by rain. So this is probably something I should include early on in this. So like right here. standing. There we go. What's this? They happen the most by heating the metal, although slowly, to disconnect us from the rest of the tracks. I tried to think of anything I can do as a previous dream comes to mind. So this is why I had this stuff down here before, so dream comes to mind. Oh, and I was gonna have them be college students. Oh. Okay, but that still works. For some reason I was thinking high school, but college works. Doesn't matter, either way. I haven't looked at these chapters in a while. I do eventually find sleep. This previous theme comes to mind. I have been curious about my calling for a while and why I was asked to remember. I've been curious. My calling for a while and why I was asked to remember when we were within the grove. When we were within the grove. So different scenes or things I will eventually write out. So, why is it capitalized? Choose the most rational thing I can do right now. Understanding that the only way for me to figure out what my calling really is to face it. I take a running start and jump off the platform. Jump off the platform, falling. What? Yeah. What are you doing? The etheric form acts. The form acts as I tumble through the storm, quite scared myself, but relying on the hunch from the dream I had. I consider them to be useless for the most part, but I can't seem to the flying dream. But I can't seem to escape the flying dream. The thought is that maybe I can fly. Something like that. Fly. I try to answer as he tried to answer him. Humans aren't able to fly. Answers back. Reading off what I already know. It's back reading off what I already know. Know everything. That is why I requested this calling in the grove. You don't. You're something different. I am an So I don't know if in the final version I'm gonna have them be and argue this while he's falling. I am an encyclopedia. Told you are, but I think you're someone else. Someone who can't remember. They are. I've been having dreams, and according to you, are useless. But the dream I've been having involves flying. I've been having involves flying. That are we flying now? He asks me. falling. I tell him, but in the dream there is a castle in the distance. But in the dream there is a castle in the distance. He pauses on this. Pauses. Well, I continue sharing with him the dream. There is also a large pot of red and gold feathers, and hey hybrid, how's it going? It's also a large pot of red and gold feathers, and in let's see, how much of this am I including? Pause so I can then sharing with him the dream. But it's also, okay, not a large board. Yeah, you do that. Probably once I'm done with trying to write this chapter out, I'll join you. A large board. So we're not gonna make it the board, we're gonna make it the Pegasus. With wings that flies forward, and in my most recent dream a name kept on echoing in the void. Kept on echoing in the void. Helios. King. The etheric form says, the etheric form speaks. King Helios was someone of great distinction around 200 years ago. Distinction around 200 years ago. King Helios. He speaks the name again, as if recognizing the name, and his expression grows very strong, almost warping face to that of pure anger. He now roars loudly the name in Helios. Being as God. So, if you recall the previous chapters that I've read off, there has been a character named Godric. Well, that was 200 years ago that Godric was around. But now somehow Godric is a part of Connor. And it's not a mystery to me why he's a part of Connor. Basically, Godric is a past life of Connor's. And so, like, they the Roly Polies orchestrated this in such a way to bring forward this. So Godric has a very what do you call it? He's very angry towards King Helios and trying to take him out. I don't think I actually read off that chapter. Yeah, I don't think I read off the chapter, but there's a chapter where what Kano is describing actually happened. So, but this is now far later into the future. So, there's that past one. In an instant, we stop falling just below the cumulonimbus cloud. I gain omnipresent view an omnipresent view on the world around us as I see the announcer gaps from a distance, and one of the many flesh tentacles, I guess. Tentacles was reaches outside of the cloud toward him. The etheric form of my encyclopedia descends to cover my face as if we're one. As if we're one. And he takes control over my body. My only thought is to save the announcer if possible. At breakneck pace, we fly over and through tendril, cutting it as blood pours from the stump. The announcer dumbfounded as I want us to head back into clouds. So, to prevent Lucius, what is his name again? Lucius. There we are. The not so dumbfounded as I want to head back into the cloud to prevent Lucius from killing us all. It's likely it's calling backfired. I struggle to say out loud as the etheric form speaks. What are these callings? I've never heard of such a word. This is all magic. So basically what has happened is Godric has awakened. He doesn't know his, I don't know if I'm going to bring up his name yet, but he doesn't know that yet. But he sees all of this as magic. And up until now, well, they just thought everyone had an individual calling, which gave them a unique special ability, but something like that. Well, this is all magic. There is no such thing as magic. We have callings. And mine apparently is flight. You're apparently stupid. He tells me as we ascend back into the cloud dodging many of the flesh tendrils that try to ensnare us. I gain a I don't want to say it's like can now see through the flesh to the group that is Team Band within struggling to stay alive while being crushed by the growing flesh from Lucius. I don't know how I can tell it's him. But I knew beforehand his ability, his calling was creating nothing, was creating something from nothing. How it ever got to this state could be because of his pairing with Natalie. It said that when two in sync, that's why in sync callings unite, then a greater calling will appear. So those two probably united. I can hear your thoughts. I don't understand what you're talking about. But this is all magic. This is all a situation. This is all survival of the fittest. I am going to stop that. I'm gonna stop this to protect myself. Save them. I yell at him. They are friends. They are friends. Let's see. You guys back up to the platform. Ulysses, what is it? Wait, wait a moment, I wanted to do a joke here. What was it? I can't remember what the joke was. Let's see. I can figure it out later. Okay, save them and out at him. They are friends. Up to the platform where Ulysses. Where's his name again? Ulysses. And the rest are at, well, the flesh is still getting closer to them. They are in awe by me flying, by me soaring around, by me soaring around. Let's see. Take a stand. As I recall, a form that was far away in the dream, one that looked like it had wings, and slowly I feel them material rising on my back. Two sets of wings, of white wings, realizing two sets of white wings. White wings, as I call, as the etheric form calls for feathers into a point from the wings. They begin spiraling around in 4 points. Around in 4 points, all directed before me. If I can save your friends, I will. But that isn't likely. He says with a cold voice as we glide towards the backfiring column. Drilling to the flesh as it begins to harden, as if preventing us from getting to not Ulysses, Lucius. Where is it? Lucius. As if preventing us from getting to Lucius. But we do push it backwards. And he and the etheric form enlarges to try and encompass more, to try and encompass the combos. MPIO. Purpose. Is that the correct word? That's how you spell it. encompass more of the being, pushing it out through the it's not cumulonimbus, to the cumulonimbus cloud. Try and encompass more of the being, pushing it out through the cumulonimbus cloud. And we keep forcing it backwards. The hardening flesh never giving way, but we've gotten it out of the way of the others, so they can continue the contest. Though contest, but with such a great force behind us, we plow into something hard as the sky around us begins cracking, and an invisible dome begins to fall away around us, around us, whereas behind that dome are many massive green tendrils and heads of many large plant creatures, which is again why I have the artwork up here, because basically they are in a encaged area, and on this cage area is a bunch of the vine trap monsters that are alive somehow. Visible dome. And heads of many large plant creatures that all reaches for the flesh as they begin pulling it in, and we back off. Lucius lost in the Lucius and the rest of the team band lost in the mouth of one of the creatures, tail in R. And as I said, R by the site. And I mean that's actually kind of all I had planned for the time being. But again, this is a rough draft. It's out there, and then I can always edit it and make it more like fine tune and look a lot more pretty than this mess of thoughts and ideas. But it's in order. It's what I do. I picked the Death Wizard hybrid. So I mean, I'm about done with this stream, so I'll probably be joining you momentarily. But yeah, I picked the Death Wizard in that game. So basically, that's what we have for the chapter. So many things are revealed in the chapter, but like when I get to the actual, what do you call it? When I get to editing the rough draft, we'll see a lot better story flow and creative writingness and details and all that fun stuff. So for now, that is basically the prototype to the Garden Basket chapter. And so on Twitch, follow, on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. I'm gonna attempt to do this at least every Saturday, so it's not like pure video games all the time, because I like the main point of the channel is to write and promote the story. So I really like this. I really like this chapter. It's gonna be far more emotional once I get to doing the more detailed version of it. But until now, it's just gonna be a rough draft. So, like I said, like, share, subscribe on YouTube, hit the notification bell on Twitch, follow, and we'll talk to you guys all later. So, have a good evening, good morning, wherever you're at, and goodbye.